Hey guys, so welcome back. As you all know, I am Rachie the Real, all right? And you know, I always like to keep it real with y'all. And here you guys find out everything that you need to know, okay? So today I just wanted to jump in really quick because I wanted to discuss insecurities. It actually came to me because one of the people that I follow on Instagram, she had made a post and she was discussing and asking kind of where insecurities came from. And I just wanted to get into that. Okay, so make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and let's get into it. All right, guys, so I wanted to discuss insecurities today. Like I said a little bit earlier, one of the people that I follow on Instagram, she kind of asked where the insecurities come from, and I made a comment, and a lot of people really appreciated it and liked it and was just oh wow. So I kind of wanted to come here and share it with you guys, what I said, and kind of discuss it further, because I mean, we all have insecurities and it's only normal from what I'm about to say. But let me just say the comment that I wrote and then we'll go from there. So the question was, where do insecurities come from? So I said insecurities stem from our shadow self, which I do have a video about shadow work and our shadow self. So insecurities stem from our shadow self. Our shadow self is comprised of trauma, shame, and neglect. All things learned. When we look back and think about our childhood and adolescent years, we have all had experiences that shaped our thoughts and ideas about self in a negative way. We then unconsciously hold on to this struggle and it manifests as insecurities. Sometimes some are so embedded, we don't even realize where they come from until we do the work to go deep into our psyche and heal ourselves from our own demons, which is just our lower self that has been created due to unnatural social norms. So I know that's kind of a lot, but that's really honestly where insecurities stem from and where they come from. And I just kind of wanted to break that down. So of course, when I say insecurities come from our shadow self, that is the darker side to us. So literally it is just the place of where we get jealous of people, where we do have anger, and if we do feel hatred, and when we kind of want to want bad things to happen to other people because we feel like we deserve it and what they doing. And okay, so that's our shadow self. And our shadow self is comprised of trauma, okay? So, which is shame and neglect. That has been put upon us since we were little, okay? And that's why I said these are all things that were learned, because when we are little and we don't get our way about something, or we really wanted something, and then let's say a little kid really wants to inspire to be a dancer, right? But if their family all around them you can't dance, what you doing? Okay, so then now that starts to become it will manifest later on in life, where let's say they're at a friend's wedding, they come on, come out here and dance, and you no, I don't really dance, because that was a trauma from shame and neglect that has built up and has not moved into your adult life, okay? So when we look back and think about our childhood and adolescent years, we have all had experiences that shape our thoughts and ideas about self in a negative way. If you have heard somebody in middle school say, ugh, she ugly, or ugh, he's so short, look, I don't even want him, okay? That builds into negative ideas about self. And sometimes we don't even realize this. It's been, how long ago have most of us been in high school or junior high, okay? But these particular points in our life have embedded so much in us, and we don't even really realize it. And like I said that a little bit later, but it's crazy to even think about that, because somebody can say one negative thing about us, and that will stick with us for 1,000 years, okay? Somebody can say 10,000 nice things about us and we won't believe it. And that is because we have become programmed to be able to accept negatives quicker than positives. Because we believe if somebody gives us a positive, they must be lying. It ain't true. It's something going on with that. But since we have heard negatives throughout our life, because most of the time that's what we're hearing, even when we want to like go out and like be an entrepreneur or have our own job, have our own this, that, and that, like that's literally always like, girl, what you about to do? Or look at her, she thinks she all that. And it's like, bro, nah. Nah, not you, you ain't on that shit, you can't do that. And it's like, dang, I can't even get the support from my friends, I can't even get the support from my family. So that then sticks with us. And once again, like I said, as children until now into adulthood, we flow better with the negatives and the no's because that's what we have majority heard. So it's easier for us to believe that. I really do wonder if somebody did like a psychological study where you had kids and you gave them like positive feedback. It may be a study. Positive feedback for a majority time of like their lifespan, probably from like from a toddler to adolescence, and or they didn't receive like no kind of like nothing of like, you ugly, you this, you that. And if it was just positive, I'm pretty sure that person would grow up to be so confident in themselves and just can take the world by storm, right? Because they haven't learned this negative way of being, this negative thought of self. So from there, I say we then unconsciously hold on to the struggle and it manifests as insecurities. We do. I mean, insecurities literally come from the shame and neglect that we learned when we were little. That's literally it. And like I said, they're so embedded. Some of them we don't even realize where they come from. But that's when we have to do the work on self. So we can really, really figure out, okay, I know I feel like this, but why? And that's why I said it's so important to do shadow work, which I made a video about that, and you guys should go check that out, because you really, really find out what you need to know about yourself and like why you do the things. Like I always said, and I say in that video, always ask yourself why, because it is a why to everything. And most of the time for us having insecurities, it's all due because of social norms, okay? Which are unnatural. They are literally unnatural to us. And like, listen, okay? These social norms have us just like on a timeline and a clock, like beep, 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 okay? To where everybody is so different. Like, think about it like this. If we all have different fingerprints and not one person is the same, not even twins, then how can we even think that our lives are all supposed to be the same? Right? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Yeah, we have biological clocks and we have all of this, but what we don't understand is what's for us is for us. What's for you is for you. I can't take anything away from you. If you're supposed to get that G-Wagon, you're going to get that G-Wagon. I can't take that G-Wagon away from you. Like, let's say it's a sweepstakes, right? And it's like we all enter. But that already has your name on it. Nobody can take that from you. Nobody. Because it's yours. And like, that's how life is. Everything that we want and what we need is already set out with our name on it. And that's why most of the time we don't even need to stress, because we stress because we start to overwhelm ourselves with worry. And it's like, what are we worrying about? Because if it's meant for us, it's meant for us. If it's not, then it's just not, you know? And then like we're going to go to the place that is meant for us, or the person that's meant for us, or, you know, whatever. So that really plays like a huge part in our lives, okay? Because when it comes to like marriage and stuff like that, I mean, I know like people say like, oh yeah, like a man, he know, like it don't take that man that long to propose to you, like, cause he already know. How? Like, how? Is this a thing that men have that's like women's intuition? Like, is this a man of like he knows? And the reason why I say that is because when you're dealing with somebody else in a relationship, and this is supposed to be ongoing, like for your whole life, it's so much you need to know and learn about that person and really feel like, okay, we're literally about to spend every day together. We're going to see each other all the time. We're always not going to be into each other. We're always not going to want to have sex with each other. I have bad days, you have bad days. Somebody may be sick. Like, it's a lot. But I feel like these unnatural social norms is like, okay, you date in high school, and then from there you date in college, you get your little sweetheart, and then y'all get married after college, and then you have babies at 25, 26, and then like you keep going. But nobody ever tells us what's in between, right? Because you get your job, you get married, you have your kids, okay? So what is between 30 and like 65, 70 for when you retire? What does that whole section look like? Nobody ever talks about that though, right? And so this sped up timeline, because time is an illusion, so, but that's another subject. But this sped up timeline makes it so unnatural for us to fall in love with somebody, to have patience with ourselves, and to know like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to go to school. I know I already went to school, but I want to take this path and go back to school. I want to be a doctor now. I want to be a lawyer now. I want to be an engineer now, instead of what I was previously. And it's nothing wrong with that. And I know people may look at other people like what? Like they doing something late? But it's like, nobody's late. But the world has made us think this because it's unnatural to our souls, to our spirits. Because the world is just trying to literally just like speed everything up and just kill us. No, I'm not gonna say that, because then y'all can say like I'm fear-mongering, and I'm not doing that. But like the world is just like speeding everything up. We just kids, we teenagers, and then like we go to school, and then we find somebody, we get married, we have kids, and die, you know? And it's like, when do we have time to actually like find ourselves? When do we have time to get to know ourselves? When do we have time to just have fun with people? And I'm not saying like, fun doesn't always have to be like having sex, okay? Like you can still have fun with people and just like go out, because the opposite sex, they're still human beings as well. But I feel like we tend to forget that. But yeah, anyways, we're not talking about that in this video. We're talking about insecurities. So with all of that, I want you guys to really like keep this in mind and dig deep and go there with yourself to see like, okay, like I don't like this about my nose. Did somebody ever say something about my nose, or am I looking at somebody else? And that's another thing. That's another thing that builds insecurities within us, because we have been told socially what's pretty, what's beautiful, what's handsome, what looks good. And when we don't fit these particular looks, then we start to get down on ourselves, and we start to feel like, okay, and then here comes surgery, and like here comes everything else. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with surgery per se, but you're not really getting to love you. And listen, the hood healer, when she said this was like mind-blowing. Like, we're so busy trying to change ourselves and change how we look that our spouse can't even find us. On that soul level, can't even find, because we looking completely different. Looking completely different than how we supposed to be. Think about that. But when it comes to beauty, it's a lot. It is a lot, and that adds so many insecurities, you know, because then we start to get into like body conscious, and like right now it's like a whole wave of like looking like you're mixed, or looking ethnically ambiguous, or having a Kardashian look, okay? And having like little bitty waist and like big butt and like big boobs, and just, okay? And that's for like women. And like for men, it's just like muscle, muscle, muscle. This man gotta be like 6'7", okay? And then it's crazy. And so don't beat yourself up, guys. We all have insecurities, okay? So I hope this video helps, and just to know that I love you, and I want you guys to love yourself, and we can work through these insecurities. And just because you think somebody is pretty and they're handsome or whatever doesn't mean that they have insecurities as well. We all go through it. So until next time, guys, remember to always think critically, follow your spirit, and to always have your intuition guide you. All right? So until next time.